Right, how did I do? I think it turned out pretty well. That video alone has 4 million views. So it's turned out to be pretty successful. So how big is my YouTube channel? You guys know people who have made YouTube channels? Do you have like a friend or a neighbor or someone? Yeah, so you know lots of people have YouTube channels, but they can range in size and popularity. So mine, I would consider my channel to be a pretty successful one. It's pretty big. I have 70,000 subscribers, 515 video uploads, 64 million total views, and 72 million minutes of watch time. So a lot of people have watched it. It's pretty successful. So how big is 70,000? Do you guys know? Like, yeah, it's pretty big. Any comparison, like you guys size-wise? What do you think?
Like, there's about 522 kids in our school.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's like 140,000 times.
Yeah, so it's a big number. Just to give a comparison, maybe. Nope, that's impressive.
How do I do it?
What? Press the back. Or maybe not. Anyways, there was a picture of a football stadium that was supposed to be here. The University of Washington's whole football stadium has 70,000 people who can sit there. So it's a lot of people. And yeah, that's how many people who have actually watched my videos and said, hey, I like those, and click the subscribe button. So I'm quite happy with the success and growth that it's had. Now, do you guys want to know how I make the videos, like how I actually put them together and whatnot? All right. So there's 8 steps of what I do. First of all, I got to come up with like an idea of what I'm going to make for an episode. So I grew up, when I was younger than you guys, watching Thomas. So I'm very familiar with who the characters are, the locations, the stories. And so what I would do is just write out a simple thing on paper about like what's an idea for a plot that some characters can have or what they can do. So usually pretty small. Then, can you press back? Then I actually write out the full story. And I was doing this when I was in middle school and high school. So I didn't have a computer. I would take the time after I'd finished my homework and stuff in class to write out these stories. So I would write them out on paper by hand. So like how would you guys in class, do you do much of the computer lab, or do you guys mostly write by hand? Yeah, so I did a lot writing like how you guys do. So then once I've written out the story and I've revised it a few times, I'm really happy with how it looks, then I have to actually create a camera shot list of what it's going to be. So when I film, I have to do something kind of different than a lot of others. So you guys know when they film a TV series, oftentimes they'll build like a set for like a particular location where something's going to take place. Like, what's a TV series? Yeah, like a series of unfortunate events. Have you guys watched that on Netflix?
Yeah.
Okay, so like, take for example, so one of the rooms in one of the episodes that they're going to film, what they have to do is they build that set, and they film everything that takes place in the whole series on that set at one time. And then they take it down, and then they build the next set. And so that's what I have to do. And so the only way to do that is I have to actually take the stories and write out, I read through the stories and think to myself, okay, so what's this going to look like on screen? How do I want it visualized? And so then I'll actually write down what I want to be on screen. And then I have to take that and copy and paste it into a document that has just what takes place on that set. So that way, when I'm actually filming, I build one set at one time, and I film everything that takes place for the whole season on that set. So, what do you guys think of that? That set. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah. So you can kind of tell here with what I do is I lay out these 2 giant grass mats. I got a table that is 8 feet by 8 feet, so it's pretty big. I can't even reach all the way across it. I can only reach to about the center. And I got these 2 big grass mats I lay out on the floor, and then I put down the train tracks to go wherever, depending on what the set is going to be. And then I lay down all this lichen, and I place trees, and I put rocks next to the tracks, and I've got all these little custom buildings that I've made. And you can tell I've got this, this backdrop that goes back here, and then the sky background. And so that's how I'm able to actually create and bring the island of Sodor to life. So, yeah, and you can see I'm able to put the trains on it and actually film the episodes. See Mr. Squirrel down there. So, yeah. So then once I've done that, I have to do some video editing. Now, who here knows what video editing is? Someone want to give us a brief description of what it is? Let's have you right here.
So it's like if you made a video, you have to edit it so it's more like
Mhm.
and so it's more realistic.
Yeah, exactly. So when I film, I set the camera down and I press the record button, and then I actually take the train and I pull it with the string to make it stop at the particular part where I want it to stop at. But the problem is I've got all this footage of my hand in the shot trying to move the train and whatnot, so I've got to actually cut the footage down to just the parts that I need and make the timing so that way it flows naturally in what you guys see in an actual video. So that's what video editing is. So then once I've edited the video and created the full episode, I watch it over a couple times and I make notes on like, okay, well this is really fast, this seemed weird, something was wrong with this engine was completely off the tracks over here, we gotta fix this. And then I go back and I revise it. After I do that, then as you notice with these trains here, notice how they're all smiling? That's the only expression that they've got. So if I want to make the characters have different faces and do different expressions and talk to each other, I've got to actually animate the faces. So the way I do that is by, do you guys know Photoshop? You guys know Adobe Photoshop? Have any of you played with Photoshop before? Okay, a couple of you. So what I do is I take Photoshop and I go in and I try and erase different parts of the face, like the eyebrows, the eyes, the mouth, and then I create my own different version of it, like different mouths that fit the different expressions, and I place it over it, and I'm able to move the eyes and create kind of a blinking animation, so that way the faces match more of the model series that I grew up watching. So then after that, you gotta actually publish the videos. So who here likes spreadsheets? Okay, we got one, two, okay. You guys are some of my really good friends, because I love spreadsheets. And I love making a list of things and then getting it done. That's just who I am. So these are all different videos, and each check mark was a different part of the process of actually getting stuff done. So once I've completed everything, I've got to get it up on YouTube. But before I actually am able to get it up on YouTube for everyone to see, there's one thing I've got to create that's crucial. It's really important. That's a part of the YouTube video. Can you guys think of what it is? Right here.
You gotta make a name for it.
Okay, yeah, you have to have a name, but I'm thinking of something else that's also just as important as the name. Over here.
Share.
Well, you have to share it once it's up. Back there.
The voicing.
No, not the voicing. Think of when you're on YouTube and you're scrolling through videos, what do you see? Right here. The thumbnail, correct. So you gotta design the thumbnail. And so I have designed a lot of thumbnails over the years. So, with the thumbnails you saw here, is there any particular trends? Because these are all some of my most popular videos. Is there like a trend with some of these that you guys notice? Back there?
All of the trains have different expressions.
Mm-hmm. Recklin?
Well, on each one it looks like there's an accident, like there's an explosion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's something crazy exciting going on. And that's usually what gets kids' attention, saying like, oh, I wonder what's going on there, and so they'll click on it. So that's one of the things that I've noticed over time, and I've tried to make my videos to show the most action-packed moment of the video in the thumbnail to get people to click on it. So, then sharing it. So now when you upload a video to YouTube, what's the purpose of uploading it to YouTube? Back there?
So other people can watch it.
Yeah, exactly. So that way other people can see it. So you don't just want